Hey y'all, New Guy 09100 here, and I'm here with my friend Steven, aka White Dragon LV8, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, before we continue, can you go check and make sure I'm in the shot?
You are in the shot.
Okay. Hey, just checking to make sure that's... And, we just got back from seeing Green Lantern. Aaron, I had to go opening day, because this is such a big event for me.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah. And I'm here as a big fan of the comics, and he came along to help me judge.
I'm a big fan of the Green Lantern.
Yeah. We are going to go into spoilers, but we'll warn you before that. And before we go, I want to do a quick talk about some of the trailers we saw. They had trailers to Dark of the Moon, which I really look forward to, even though I know Ironhide gets killed. And here's my big question. Do you own a Recon Ironhide, Michael Bay? Do you own a Recon Ironhide? The Recon Ironhide is so cool. I just fell over when I first transformed him, and I just love him. We saw Harry Potter Part 2, which I'm okay with. We saw our very talked about Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Let me just tell you what happened here, okay? It first showed up like one of those really low-class B-rated horror movies that might be good to watch, but not to be scared of. And then the title came up. Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
They like inject them with these smarts. It's just so stupid.
I laughed so hard.
I looked at it and I thought, oh my god, I think I have an idea what this may be, but I pray I'm wrong. Boom, I was right. And I thought, you're kidding me, guys. Monkeys are killing us.
Is that really how the Planet of the Apes... That's not how Charlton Heston would like this thing to end?
Yeah, it's just an unneeded explanation.
No, not really.
And then there was like this Mr. Boss, which was about sex talk, and I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
So those were the trailers I remember. So on to the movie. My first general opinion. I liked the movie, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I personally... Okay, I'm going to start to go into spoilers, and I'm even going to talk about the end scene, because let me tell you, the end scene redeemed so much, even if it couldn't make up for the rest of the movie exactly.
Well, you're going to have so much.
Yeah, so... We're going into spoilers, so you saw the movie, I liked it, I didn't like it as much, and his opinion?
It's worth a watch, but not if you're looking for an action flick. It's more of a romance kind of thing, which is not what I'm thinking about when I watch Green Lantern.
What are you talking about?
The thing with the sapphire?
Well, yeah, there was that.
Yeah, and then there was too much of that and not enough of Green Lantern, but the stuff that with Green Lantern was good, not enough to redeem the entire movie, though.
Okay, so anyway, here we go into our spoilers. Generally, for me, I thought the movie worked fine as a adaptation. I've been a huge Green Lantern fan. I was into the character before it was even cool to be into Green Lantern. You are all on Hal Jordan. I was on Kyle Rayner.
Oh, yeah.
I know so much. And I even read The Secret Origin. And by the way, this is actually the special edition with introduction by Ryan Reynolds. And this is pretty much what it was based off of. And I read that like 2 days before going to this, so I had a pretty good idea of what was going on. The CGI was great.
Oh yeah.
The action I felt was fairly good.
I thought there wasn't enough of it though.
Yeah, there wasn't enough.
But I also want to make sure that we know that the people know that this is not for the fans. The first movie, kind of like the first Batman movie, was for fans.
Yeah.
It's basically for people just getting into it.
Basically, this movie here, real quick. This movie basically has the same problems which have hindered Green Lantern fans. And that's an origin. Now, I watched First Flight, and this movie has very good animation, fairly good action, but it doesn't exactly live up to the comics, and it has so much depth in the Green Lantern Corps, and I thought, it's too soon for that man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know about Kyle Rayner's story, you know that Hal Jordan gets possessed by Parallax, and he pretty much wipes out most of the Corps, leaves others to die. They survive, but are prisoners of the Quards, I think it was. And, that was too soon. But we're not talking about this, we're talking about the... I thought the action itself was fine, and I felt it was actually a little bit better than Ghost Rider, which I still do like.
Oh, yeah.
I stand up for that, even though I know everybody's gonna kill me.
Go watch your back when you leave. I'm gonna kill you next time.
What?
I'll kill you because for hating Ghost Rider. I'll kill you now. Watch your back, man.
And I actually look forward to the sequel.
It does sequel? Awesome.
It is Blackout! We don't even need a third movie! But anyway, I thought the action was fairly good. I liked the projections. What I did not like was the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
The movie pretty much attempts to give you some talk, some action, some talk, and it's like Jeff Johns. Except with Jeff Johns, in his writing, you think, oh shit, we're gonna get a long explanation scene. But regardless of how relevant it is to the plot, he will give you action to tide you over, or just to keep your interest going. And that's also what this movie had a problem with. I mean, every time I thought it was going to get really cool, they slow down. The other problem I had with it was the dialogue. And I don't know if this has to do with the fact that I already know the story, I already know all of this, but there is so much dialogue in here which is just explaining the backstory. Now, it's not as bad as the review I'm pretty well known for. You all know the review. Ooh, The Last Airbender, the one that got me quite a number of thumbs up. It's not that bad, in which every piece of dialogue is explanation. But it does feel like they keep talking and just trying to clarify all this. Actually even puts me in a bit of fear of my own script writing for Nightmare in Gotham City. Although, you know, that could just be some director fear. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all nervous. Yeah. But the other thing is, Nightmare in Gotham City, you don't need to sit into a theater with. You can watch it on YouTube. And I don't want to scare anybody away from it.
Back to Green Lantern, there was this couple scenes that were kind of jumpy for me. Particularly in the scene where Hector, what was his name, Hammond?
Hammond, yeah.
Hector Hammond, he was becoming that big-headed guy. What was his name? But in the time he was becoming that, it's like a 5-second segue to Hal Jordan doing something with Green Lantern Corps, and it segued back to him doing his, oh my god, I'm changing, and then back, yeah, it was kind of like, what?
Now, I have to say, I really was not that excited about Hector Hammond being the villain. Of course, I love Sinestro as the main villain. That's who I wanted. Although, I will say, I actually didn't hate Hector Hammond, as some of the other critics have said. The truth is, really, there's not very much else to start with. I mean, you can either do Sinestro first or you can do him last. Although, we're going to get into that in the end scene. And Star Sapphire's too soon, and Blackhand. Blackhand is a complete wimp. He was only really a threat during the Blackest Night story arc, and that was mainly because of Necron. So, Hector Hammond here is actually not as overly silly as you might think. I mean, in the comics, his head was huge, like gigantic, and then of course I won't even get into that thing he turned into after he ate Larflee's battery pack. But here, he's a bit more. He's pretty much got a big head. It looks pretty much what you would expect from
his hand is kind of like
his head, but it really looks like he has a giant brain tumor in there. But the thing is, he's not as well painted as in Secret Origin. In Secret Origin, Hector Hammond was like the perfect boyfriend. He was like the guy who was a perfect boyfriend, but a bit of a snob, yes. So I actually didn't think he was that bad, but yeah, it was mainly Parallax who was the big villain.
Yeah, but he wasn't that fleshed out either.
Well, Parallax was actually fairly close, except he possesses this guardian, Krona, who I only know his name because I read the toys.
Yeah.
And it's like he's this big head, and it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that lizard thing that you see in the comics. And not only that, most members of the Green Lantern Corps are really just there. They're just there. Kilowog and Tomar-Re and Sinestro have some bit more exposure training the guy, Hal Jordan. But they actually killed off a couple of members, including Rotman Flop. who, if you see my review, this is the best figure of the Movie Masters, and you kill him off, dude.
What's up with that?
And they killed Ismond Cole. Why'd you kill Ismond Cole? But anyway, but the other thing is, if you don't even know them, you're probably not gonna cry because they don't even have any dialogue.
Yeah.
They're just there.
Like and then they're gone.
Yeah. But like I said, the pacing was a bit off. It basically feels like they are just drawing it out. And they just keep on building up to this action, but it goes slowly. There's even one scene that pisses me off so much. It's during Hector's first encounter with Hal Jordan, and he's got like this huge tumor going, and
it wasn't huge towards the end of the movie when he first encountered Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he first encounters Hal Jordan, and it's
almost
almost
his mind at this point now.
Yeah, and then like he's like, ah! And of course we know Parallax is coming to Earth, and I'm thinking, all right, this is it. Parallax is coming into Earth. We're gonna have our big battle. Nope, we got another talk scene where they have to discuss what's going on, and I'm like, damn it, people! And it's not that long, but it's still like just there. It's a block there. Oh, and one other thing to talk about is how the script feels a bit rushed. He comes to Oa, and they're like training him for a couple of minutes, and of course they're just throwing him all over the place. And then Sinestro is fighting him, and Hal Jordan stands up pretty well against him. And here, right before I'm in the middle of my thought, let me see how much we're going here. Oh my God, we're past the 15 minutes already? Sorry, people. I really didn't mean for it to get this long here, but there's so much to talk here.
Yeah.
And like Sinestro trashes him around, and Hal's holding off pretty well, and then he trips him, and then suddenly he's in fear, like, I don't think I'm the good Green Lantern member. So he goes to Earth, and he's got the ring still, and
they've taken that away if he quits.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He quits the Corps, yet they still let him have the ring. No! The Guardians would strip that from him. And not only that, why is he suddenly in fear of having in this ring about being the best? He witnessed his father's death. In the comics, he kept going on like, I felt like there was nothing else to fear. So this just brings up a drama story.
Yeah, I have to say also the Guardians didn't really do much in the movie either.
Well, that I'm not against because the Guardians don't do much anyway. They pretty much just sit there like, we are the wise people.
Oh, well, there you go.
We are good. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up before we get to the end scene, and the final fight with Parallax is okay, but it's not really that extraordinary. Yeah. I really wanted to see the whole Corps fight Parallax.
We didn't get that though, which is kind of disappointing.
Instead, they just show up and wring his ass out of there. They're like, you won. You're a good guy.
Yeah, good for you, Hal Jordan. We love you.
Yes. So, I like the movie. I like the action. I felt as a live Green Lantern movie, it was decent. I'll probably buy it. But, I feel like we could have done more. I feel like we could have gotten better.
Well, is there going to be a sequel?
Well, that's where we get to the end scene. There is a small plot line where Sinestro suggests making a yellow ring, which is actually the exact ring I told you all about I wanted. And so he makes it, and the Guardians are like, blasphemy, not doing it. And then, like, the end scene is he gets
the credits.
No, it's midway through the credits.
Okay, fair enough.
He gets the ring, and he puts it on, and he gets the yellow suit, like the Sinestro Corps. Like that. Exactly how I envisioned it. And I'm like, yes! Yes, people! Okay, now we need a sequel, because let me tell you, I have been waiting for a Sinestro Corps adaptation for I don't know how long. And I'm like, oh yes. Okay, this movie was a little flawed, but we need a sequel.
Well, if the sequel comes out, hopefully they won't make it as drawn out.
Exactly.
Now we know the story.
Just make a sequel. Yeah. I don't even care if it sucks. I don't care if it's crammed. I want the Sinestro Corps War. Okay,
Calm down. You want to take your meds?
my fanboy is crying. So anyway, I thought this movie was good, but it could have been better.
Hopefully the sequel will be much better.
Yes, and I just want that sequel.
Oh yeah.
I will even fund it. I will write it. I will run a fundraiser to make that sequel a reality. I will do what you want to make that a reality. Okay, so I'm sorry we went on for a bit long. I didn't even know we were going so long, but that's pretty much my opinion on this. Good, but could have been better. I got my expectations a little too high. It filled my appetite.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you heard it from us. That's our review on Green Lantern. Go see it if you want.
Yeah.
Alright.
Not really what we were expecting from a Green Lantern movie, but it's still
Yep.
good.